Okay, so the construction industry is taking advantage of the drone industry in so many excellent ways. Before a project is even planned, drones are being used to map the landscape, map the site, and get accurate information. Surveyors are now starting to use drones. As they've become more accurate, people can actually buy individual mats to give you the GPS location. But also now new satellites are coming on board, which means that regular drones and even your smartphones and smart devices are much more accurate in their location. Drones are also being used in terms of advertising. Picture this. You're wanting to sell an apartment that's at 30 stories high. How on earth do you show somebody what the view is going to be of that apartment? Well, here's a hint. You're in a drone module. You're going to use a drone. Okay, so fly that drone up to that height of where that 30-story room will be. And you sit that drone there and you take some wonderful imagery as if you were that person standing in your bedroom looking at the beautiful view of the landscape or the cityscape around you. So drones are being used in advertising. Drones also get used to fly around inside rooms and inside apartments to sell them and show you what it looks like in a fly-through of the actual apartment. I'm wondering how many light fittings they've taken out whilst they were learning how to do that. So in the actual construction site, drones are being used too. We've got drones that are monitoring process. Imagine you have a construction contract that built into it has this thing called milestone payments. There are certain amounts of money that are released to you as a constructor as you hit these milestones. And that could be certain things like building certain numbers of floors or pouring a certain amount of concrete. And a great way to prove that you have done the work that you said you were going to do is by taking irrefutable drone photography or video imagery of that work on that site. So you can send it to your client without them even having to come to the actual construction site. Now, when we really want to push the envelope a little bit, drones are actually being used to build buildings. But I'll put a little asterisk there. Theoretically, there's not a building yet that anyone's living in that was actually built by drones. But when they look at the idea of swarming drones, so the idea of drones that swarm are groups of lots of drones all working together on one great big project. And so if you want to lay lots of bricks, or if you want to lift things up to certain floors, then these swarming construction drones are actually a really fast and safe way to get those materials onto that construction really quickly. We've got things like 3D printers 3D printing concrete houses. We've also got drones that can actually lift and lay bricks. Pretty exciting stuff. When it comes to the final parts of construction though, and here's where there's some real value. With the drone industry, to be able to fly drones around our buildings and around our cities, our drones are going to need things where they can sit and relax and recharge. So the new gargoyle is the drone charging station. Our buildings are now being built with new autonomous and driverless technologies in mind. The idea of the 5G network, the idea of being able to have wireless charging. All of these things need to be built into buildings or retrofitted to buildings to be able to work for the ecosystem. If you want to fly drones down the main high street, are we going to need to have netting? So there's another thing we're going to have to build inside our existing cityscapes. So when it comes to constructing things and actually flying drones, I think there's a lot of ways we haven't even really discovered yet that our construction industry is going to use drones for.